Rocker, Michigan, this is your TV6 Early News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Asplund. New coach. NMU's football program has a new man as their leader, but it's somebody the team is already familiar with. A guilty plea, but there are conditions in the plea deal accepted in an attempted murder case in Marquette County. Holiday vegetarian food, your Facebook story, and the choices people have around the holidays and eating without meat. Moose on the loose on Presque Isle, minding their own business, and authorities want people to stay away. The TV6 Medical Minute and Dr. Michael Prevost talking about carpal tunnel syndrome.
I'm meteorologist Dustin Bonk, and we have some warmer temperatures today compared to last night, but we have some snow in your forecast coming up.
I'm Mike Lutham, and we'll introduce you to the new coach of the NMU football team, plus tell you good news for the Michigan football coach.
And Snowcross racing coming to the Western UP. It's all next on your TV6 Early News.
For Upper Michigan, Steve Asplund, Carl Bonack Weather, and Mike Ludlam Sports. This is your TV6 Early News.
It only took 24 hours for Northern Michigan University to hire a new football coach. Now, Chris Ostrowski has been with the Wildcats offensive coordinator for the past 2 seasons. He has assistant coaching experience in the Division I level, 2 and 3 levels of college football. But this one will be Ostrowski's first head coaching job in college football. According to interim athletic director Steve Reed, Ostrowski will work extremely hard to engage the campus, alumni, and the local community in Wildcat football. Ostrowski takes over for Bernie Anderson. Anderson's contract was not renewed after going 24-38 over the past 6 seasons. TV6's Mike Ludlam was at today's press conference, and he'll have much more later on today's TV6 Early News. Well, a 36-year-old Ishpeming mother has pled not guilty to attempted murder by reason of insanity. Mirja Karita Leto was arrested in January by Ishpeming police after she's stabbing her 11-year-old daughter. The girl suffered stab wounds, to her abdomen and chest, and she made a full recovery. Leto appeared in court today following an 11-month investigation by Ishpeming and Michigan State Police, as well as the Marquette County Sheriff's Department. The Center for Forensic Psychology examined Leto's mental health. Judge Thomas Sulka accepted Leto's plea. She will now be committed to the Center of Forensic Psychology immediately. Well, this evening marks the end of the firearm deer season, and the DNR says hunters have seen a much larger and healthier herd this year. Hunter expectations were high after 2 consecutive warm winters produced a large number of offspring. Although the official numbers won't be in for another month, DNR representatives stated the hunters they spoke to said there were plenty of deer. In some cases, hunters were even able to choose deer rather than taking the only one they saw.
Really, the hunters have been very satisfied this year, reporting seeing lots of deer, seeing lots of small bucks, having actually to choose between which bucks they want to shoot. So it's a luxury we haven't seen or heard of in the last few years.
With archery season starting tomorrow and muzzle loading season later this week, the DNR still encourages all hunters to bring their bucks in to their check stations. Well, the Thanksgiving holiday weekend in Michigan wasn't as deadly on the roads this year as it was last year. Michigan State Police say 6 people lost their lives in traffic accidents this year. 10 were killed last year. 2 of the victims were pedestrians. None of the fatal accidents occurred in the UP. The holiday weekend started at 6 p.m. Wednesday and ended at midnight on Sunday. Well, the holiday season is filled with cheer, family, festivities, and of course, food. But what if you have a vegetarian coming to dinner? Is there a special meal you can prepare for them? TV6's Noelle McLaren joins us now with some answers. Noelle?
Steve, a holiday meal is often associated with ham or turkey, but as I found out today, the holidays can be very vegetarian and tasty. In fact, many Christmas favorites can be made meat-free if they aren't already. Hold the ham, hold the turkey. 7.3 million Americans are vegetarians. So it's no surprise that this holiday season, many are cooking up meat-free dishes for dinner. Fortunately, it's not that difficult.
I think the word vegetarian scares a lot of people because they think that that means preparing something that is very outlandish with strange ingredients, but that certainly isn't the case.
Our friends at the Marquette Food Co-op say start small.
I tend to go with all of my favorite sides. So I'm going to be looking at soups and salads and many side dishes of vegetables and fruits.
If you shopped for veggies but don't know what to do with them, our Facebook fans have some pretty mouth-watering suggestions. Kelly Lynn Sunshine suggested tomatoes or green peppers stuffed with spinach and cheeses. Amber Van Carson posted a recipe for mushroom tofu pecan stuffed squash she found on moosewoodrestaurant.com. Many meat lover favorites can be adapted for vegetarian diets, including hearty dishes like casseroles and pastas. A great substitute for a heavy main dish would be proteins and grains like quinoa.
Quinoa is the only grain that is a complete protein. It's very tasty, and you can certainly pair it with things like cranberries, which of course for the holidays to make it festive. Also, you can add things like pecans and other nuts that will round out the flavor of that dish.
And who says a vegetarian Christmas isn't festive? Remember this favorite carol?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Roasting chestnuts are a delicious way to gather the family on a cold winter night. Overall, making your meal meat-free isn't complicated as long as you have good recipes. We've listed a few vegetarian recipe websites on our website. Just go to uppermichigansource.com and click on the news story. Steve?
Thanks a lot, Noelle. Now here are your story options for tomorrow for Facebook. First, fit and healthy, at home or at the gym. Which is the best place to get the support you need for getting healthy? Can you use a home fitness program or should you use a trainer? Second, how to change a tire. How do you change a flat tire? Now, if you get a flat in the winter, what should you do? And third, vitamin supplements. Do they work and should you be taking them? Go to the TV6 Facebook page and vote for your favorite story. Well, two moose have been spotted on Presque Isle recently. One is a cow and the other is a calf. Now, this video was shot by those working at the Superior Watershed Partnership, and their office is on Presque Isle. Authorities say so far they have not created any problems, and they've apparently been in the area for a while. This was shot last week. However, onlookers have been warned to stay away from the moose. They've been known to charge spectators if they feel threatened. Well, the Blackjack Ski Resort in Bessemer is gearing up for its season opener, but they have another reason to open their doors this year. For the first time, Blackjack will be hosting one of the National Snowcross Race Series sponsored by ISOC. The terrain looks bare now, but on December 9th, 10th, and 11th, the resort expects hundreds to gather to watch some of the best snowcross riders in the world compete. The event is one of 8 races in the series, and it's points-based. Local pro racers will also be in competition.
Blackjack's excited about it. I'm getting more and more buzz around the community. It's a big undertaking, that's for sure, to get this thing to fly, but I believe it's good for the area. I believe it's good for Blackjack and good for everyone involved.
For more information and how to purchase passes for the event, you can visit uppermichigansource.com. Well, they're hoping for snow for the race course and the ski hills, but it didn't come today, Dustin, as the sun was out and the temperature is still on the mild side tonight.
It is going to be a little bit mild as opposed to last night's temperatures. We had temperatures into the single digits, just 7 degrees for a low temperature forecast, or as reported, just north of Ishpeming. Now, as we take a look outside to our Portage Health Houghton Hancock weather cam, you'll see definitely no trees blowing in the wind right there. We have some calm winds for the most part of Upper Michigan right now. And as we look at Marquette's temperatures and our Mersey-Dote's current conditions, temperature is 36 degrees with 49% humidity, calm winds, reports being over the last hour or two even at 0 miles per hour. It doesn't get any calmer than that. We have some snow in the forecast, unfortunately, but right now it's looking to be a little bit pleasant.
All right, thanks a lot, Dustin. We'll talk with you later. It's a nagging and numbing feeling in your hand. Tonight, Dr. Michael Prevost talks about the painful problem of carpal tunnel syndrome. It's your TV6 Medical Minute tonight on your TV6 Early News. And then later, well, the Christmas season means toys. Tonight, look at an event that's hoping to collect a lot of toys for Tots this weekend.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, a very common nerve impingement that can cause a lot of pain and symptoms in the hand. It's caused by a trapping of the median nerve in the wrist as it travels through a tunnel in the wrist bones. Repetitive movement such as keyboarding, illnesses such as diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, obesity, and pregnancy can also cause it. The symptoms include pain, tingling, and numbness, usually in the first 3 fingers of the hand and also half of the ring finger. Symptoms are very common to occur at night and are resolved with shaking of the hand. The diagnosis is either made by physical exam or sometimes special tests such as a nerve conduction study. Treatment includes rest, icing, nighttime splinting of the wrist, nonsteroidal medicines, and in the severe case, surgery. This has been Dr. Michael Prevost for TV6's Medical Minute.
And your TV6 Medical Minute can be seen every Wednesday right here on your TV6 Early News. If you're interested in the future of the Blueberry Ridge Pathway in Marquette County, you might want to attend a public meeting tomorrow. It'll be held at the Hiawatha Snowmobile Club Clubhouse, about a half-mile north of the crossroads on M553. It starts at 7 p.m. The meeting will deal with conflicts in the mixed use of Blueberry Ridge, and specifically with an alternative horse trail known as the Thunder Valley Equestrian Trail. Thunder Valley's trailhead is located 6 miles from Blueberry Ridge. A change in the weather as the snow is coming tomorrow. TV6 meteorologist Dustin Bonk is in next with those details and when that snow will fall. A great day on Wall Street as the Dow soars 490 points, the Nasdaq rising 104. A coordinated move by the world's central banks to ease borrowing costs, sending stocks higher. The Dow increasing over 4% today. Gold prices with a $32 gain to $1,746 an ounce. The crude oil price is up 57 cents, closing at $100.36 a barrel. There's a look at today's most active issues and stocks of local interest.
Current temperatures around the area of Upper Michigan today are looking to be very mid to upper 30s right now. Not anywhere pressing that 40-degree threshold anymore. Temperatures are going to be steadily dropping. We have 39 reported in Escanaba, 38 Iron Mountain, with some colder spots on Tanaga Ironwood at about 34 degrees as of right now. We have a strong cloud cover moving in from the west, covering a lot of the upper Midwest, bringing some light rain and some light snow showers that are moving in as of right around now. And you see a closer view of our local radar and satellites. Western counties is getting a very light snow right now, and that's going to be hitting the central and eastern portions as we enter into overnight's snowy weather. It's not going to be terrible, thankfully it's not going to be terrible, but we do have a bit of a widespread snow cover headed our way tonight and into tomorrow. What's going on right about now is we have some high pressure down to our south with some low pressure to our southwest. Thankfully, this high pressure is what's dominating overhead right around now, but we do have some lower pressure moving in, and that's going to be bringing some calmer winds, which we've been having reported as of right now. Calm winds, really nice, but it's not going to last too long. We have some stronger winds coming tomorrow's for Thursday's forecast as some low pressure settles in and brings a little bit colder temperatures with some lighter snowfall, but it will be lasting for at least a good portion into the morning and afternoon, ending around early evening Thursday as we move into Friday's forecast, looking to be a good deal more pleasant with some mostly sunny skies, at least for us. We even have possibility of snow down into the far south, but we don't have to worry about any of that. More for your TV6 outlook next. Snow headed our way overnight and into Thursday. Our Thursday snow forecast ending around 5 or 6 o'clock in the early evening, late afternoon. 2 to 4 inches reported expected just west of Marquette and into Marquette County, with some lake enhancement affecting some greater snowfall in that local area. Around 1 to 2 inches only is what we can really expect for most of Upper Michigan. However, there might be some isolated areas of some stronger snowfall, especially in the western counties and just west of Marquette. For tonight's low temperatures, about 25 degrees, a little bit warmer down in the southern counties, around 32 degrees, with some winds ultimately out of the northwest, with that light snow beginning late tonight and into overnight. As we enter into tomorrow, some light lingering snowfall, but it should end late in the afternoon. Highs around 28 degrees in the north, with some again, warmer temperatures in the southern counties. Winds out of the north and northwest, 8 to 18 miles per hour. So wind chill is going to be a factor for tomorrow. As you look into your TV 6-day forecast, mostly getting a little bit colder, but not drastically colder as we enter into next week with some more snow in our forecast, especially for Sunday, and a little bit expected Monday and Tuesday, with lows dropping down even into the teens.
Alrighty, well, we'll get a little snow, just kind of whiten things up a bit, make it look nice and fresh.
Definitely very seasonal for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Dustin. Your sports is straight ahead, and tonight you'll hear from NMU's new football coach and his plans for the team, and Michigan's football coach receives a big conference honor. TV6's Mike Ludlam with all the details next in sports on your TV6 Early News.
Good evening, everyone. Northern Michigan University officials have elevated football offensive coordinator Chris Ostrowski to head coach, one day after announcing Bernie Anderson's contract would not be renewed. Ostrowski has been with the Wildcats for about 15 months, but he has 15 years of experience at the Division I, II, and III levels. Prior to joining NMU, Ostrowski spent 3 seasons at Division I Northeastern University in Boston as a quarterbacks coach, recruiting coordinator, and passing game coordinator. He was an assistant head coach at Division Division III Widener University in Chester, Pennsylvania in the mid-2000s. Ostrowski's opening statement sounded a little bit like Michigan head coach Brady Hoke when Hoke was introduced in Ann Arbor.
We're going to create a nationally recognized brand that will be Northern Michigan football, period. And we'll do it with an unrelenting commitment to each other from start to finish. The only standard will be winning championships and graduating scholars. Nothing else will be discussed. We will create our own legacy. I can't tell you how excited I am to coach this team.
He's excellent at building relationships, and that's proven with the players on our current team. They have really bought into Chris. They've bought into an offensive system based on trust and accountability.
And I think Coach Ostrowski, his family, the young men that are part of our football program are going to put us back into that championship spotlight. I have every confidence that, more important than championships, I'll be shaking their hands as they cross the stage of graduation.
Ostrowski says he wants his defense to be just as aggressive as his offense, but that may take a while to achieve. Now, prior to the Ostrowski press conference, Randy Ulrey resigned as NMU defensive coordinator. Ulrey held the position for the past 4 seasons after he was released as Saginaw Valley State head coach. Ulrey began his association with NMU in 1974 as a player, and he was a member of Northern's 1975 NCAA Division II National Championship team and was the most valuable player, scoring the winning touchdown on a 67-yard run. University of Michigan head coach Brady Hoke has been named the Big Ten Conference Coach of the Year. The Wolverines have won 10 games for the first time since 2006, and they're hoping a berth in a bowl championship series game would be a good reward. Hoke thanked just about everybody for the honor.
It's a great honor, it's humbling and all those things, but there are so many people involved with awards, whether it's the Heisman Trophy or, the balloon toss. I mean, it's one of those things that our trainers, our equipment people, our seniors and the leadership that they showed this year and the staff that we have up there in Schembechler Hall.
Good play.
The Wolverines are ranked 17th in the Associated Press poll and 16th in the BCS standings. Hoke is busy recruiting and says he doesn't have time to think about what teams he wants to win conference championship games. At least it gives you something not to think about over these busy weekends with recruiting. Don't forget, all kinds of information is available on our website at uppermichigansource.com.
All righty. And with the new football coach at Northern, is there a reason why they didn't search the nation for a replacement first?
I don't know all the rules about that, but since Anderson's contract was not renewed and he wasn't fired, maybe they don't have to do a national searcher like that, or if they hire within, they can do it that way.
And he's got great credentials, so.
Yes, he does. He has very good credentials, and he has the player support, which is certainly important.
Well, that's good, and he knows the system, and he can work within.
Yeah,
so.
The offense will not be changing any, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator. That would be good.
The Detroit Tigers have re-signed Ramon Santiago to a 2-year contract. He had 260 and 101 games last season, mostly at second base. The Red Wings are in action tonight at home against Tampa Bay, which means maybe Steve Yzerman will be paying Detroit a visit since he's the Tampa GM now.
Well, we'll see what happens, and maybe we'll have highlights on the late news.
That might be a good idea.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Coming up, helping make Christmas a little brighter for some children with Toys for Tots and how you can help next on your TV6 Early News. Finally, tonight, the holiday season can be a difficult time for families struggling in the UP, but Mitchell United Methodist Church in Negaunee wants to help in the best way they know how, and that's with music. This Saturday, this empty sanctuary will be filled with the sounds of local musicians for concerts to benefit Toys for Tots and local food pantries. Musicians include the Flatbroke Blues Band, Lori Hayes, Shotgun Kelly, and Seamus Collins, just to name a few of the talent.
We've really been focusing on Christ's efforts through us to help our fellow man, and in thinking about that, if we are really the body, then we can affect change in the UP by doing what we do best. In our case, we have a great praise band at Mitchell and a really active music community.
To attend, just bring a packaged toy, a non-perishable food item, or a cash donation, and make someone's Christmas a little bit merrier. Last check on the weather with Dustin, and kind of a sloppy commute tomorrow, but nothing really to worry too much about.
Definitely. Hardly any blizzard-like conditions, but we do have some snow headed our direction, and if you may have a commute to go somewhere in the morning, might want to leave a few minutes early. We have a couple inches headed our way overnight.
Sounds like a good idea. Make it that way tomorrow morning if you're heading out early. That is your TV6 Early News. Up next, NBC Nightly News and Brian Williams. For all of us here, have a good night. Join us online anytime and also on Facebook.